there.
There it is.
We're live.
We're live.
Okay, right? We're live. It's the very first Drug Wars battle update. We'll be bringing these things to you daily, mostly daily, because we've got competitions running every day. But so we're going to give you updates on who advances, the results from the previous round, or the previous division in this case, and then we're also going to line up what's active right now, what the active battles are. And we'll give you just a little bit of commentary on these, but these will be kind of short and sweet, just your daily updates on the goings on in Drug Wars.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for joining us. I can see there's a few people, and it's been a very, very exciting 24 hours. I have not seen a response to a campaign like this one ever in all of my days. It's been absolutely snug and amazing to see just how excited everybody's getting, how tightly fought these battles have been, the leads changing backwards and forwards, people getting active on Discord and talking their team up and shit talking other people. It's been absolutely perfect. I'm really, 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 really excited about the first round and where this thing's going. So yeah, amazing stuff.
Yeah, so let's talk about it, because some interesting things happened that speak exactly to what you mentioned there. So one thing is, since it's a 24-hour campaign, when I went to bed, one of these was deadlocked in a tie. And then by the time I got up, one of the teams had pulled away. So the voting dynamics change, like as populations come online. And also, I know that one of these teams, like the team owner actually was actively, rallying for votes in other communities. And the Fluffle basically came to really help one of these guys overcome a big hurdle, because I'm teasing it. But once we get to the battle between Verde's Vixens and Bomb Squad, there was a big dramatic change.
Yeah, that was a really tightly fought battle. Yeah. It's amazing to see how, like you say, some of the other communities coming in and voting. They're not involved. They're not. They haven't fronted teams. It's not a member, necessarily of the community that's doing it, but the community's coming in and getting involved and supporting it. So it's amazing to see the Fluffle and some of the other communities coming in and getting involved. It's really cool.
And speaking of really cool, something that we should mention about that is that everyone who comes in and votes, whether you have a drug receipts NFT or not, whether you are in the competition or not, you don't have to have an entry in the Drug Wars tournament. All you have to do is vote, and you can win a fluff. Every single vote that you cast in the Drug Wars tournament is another entry into a lottery to win a fluff. The fluff is in our prize wallet right now. It's locked in the Drug Wars vault. It's another war-themed fluff. We've got 3 of them now.
Wow.
And so that is going to, all you have to do is come and vote. And each time you vote, you increase your chances of picking up this fluff.
So it's a great little tool for people who are out, trying to drum up support for their teams and trying to get people to come in and vote for them. It's a really great little incentive, right? Like, help me win, and you might win a fluff yourself, and it takes like 2 minutes with the amazing UI that the dev team have delivered. So pretty cool. And the prize pool is now getting right up there, right? We haven't really dropped all of the prizes into the wallet. I know a few people have found the wallet already and have been looking at it. So it's there. There's more to come. We don't want to reveal all the prizes straight up, but certainly most of the big ones are in there already, and it's looking pretty goddamn cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I wish, we were able to win some of those bad boys, but our teams aren't able to.
No, that's not okay. True. But there is a way. There is a way.
And there are bounties. We're allowed to win bounties, right? If we knock out.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Cool. If you win if a Drug Receipts team member picks up a bounty, you can keep the bounty. The Drug Receipts team members, because we do have them in the tournament, they're not eligible to pick up the runner-up prize or the grand prize. But there still is some incentive, some things on the line for them. So Trevor, let's get into it. We just finished the first division 1A. We've got 8 divisions in total. We're going through 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, all the way through to 4A and 4B. That includes all 64 teams. That's the first 32 matchups divided into 8 divisions. So 1A ran for 23 hours. Then we have a 1-hour respite where we can tally the votes and get all of our communications out. But so we have just completed the first 24 hours. We've got the results out, and now we're going to share the results with you.
100%.
Also, something that, and we'll let you know if anyone picked up a bounty, because so there are double agents hidden randomly scattered throughout the entire field of 64. You won't know if you are up against a double agent until your match is over. And if you've defeated a double agent, then you will know. In our communications, on our socials, you will see there'll be a card. The double agent will be revealed and exposed. And also what the prize that you claim, the bounty you've claimed, will be revealed as well.
100%. And this medium right here, this daily wrap that we're going to be doing every day, is the only way to find, well, will be the first way to find out if you got a bounty, right? Like, this is where we will be announcing who got a bounty, where it went off, and which team won that bounty and can claim it. Obviously, we'll also publish that in our Discord, so there will be time. If you don't catch this particular daily announcement, you will be able to find those details in the Discord. But if you want to know if you want a bounty, you've got to tune into the daily wrap.
Right. So every day at the same time, we're going to kick off each new slate of battles. So that's 2 p.m. here in Texas. That's Central Time. And that is 7 a.m. in New Zealand. An hour after that is when we do this wrap-up show. So now we're at 3 p.m. here in Dallas. You're at 8 a.m. in New Zealand. So the wrap-up show will come an hour after the previous day's tournament concludes and an hour after the current active battles begin.
Mm-hmm.
This wrap-up show, this hour after, all that stuff happens, is the first time we will be announcing the bounties. So it's possible to already know the results. You'll know who's moved on. And you'll know everything else you need to know, but we are withholding that information. The bounty information will not be revealed until an hour after competition's concluded.
Yes, and I've got a couple of announcements to make, but I can see Kevin has asked a question in the comments. If we don't vote in the first, can we still play? So the teams have already been qualified. So if you're asking if you can submit a team to play, the answer is no. That ship has sailed, and we've got our battles underway, and our qualifying teams are geared up and lined up, ready to fight it out. But if you want to vote and go in the draw to win a fluff, yes, absolutely. Every vote in the entire competition is an entry to win that fluff. So don't hold back. Once you connect your wallet, you can vote for 4 battles straight away, right? So that's 4 entries off the bat. And you can check back every day and vote again 4 more times. So you could literally be getting 4 entries every single day for about 5 or 10 minutes of your time. So easy way to win a fluff.
But I will add to that, Kevin, if you like what you're seeing in drug receipts and you wish that you are in the drug wars and you wish that you could compete, this won't be the last time that we host drug wars. This is going to be a recurring event. The drug wars, the battle card builder, is live right now. You can go on and start assembling teams. You can experiment with the battle card builder, start putting collections together, and you can save them so that when the next drug wars rolls around, you'll already have some lore written in. You'll have some teams built, curated, and ready to go. So yes, absolutely. If this is something you want to be a part of, this one is already, that ship has already sailed, but there will be other drug wars to come. So start getting your teams ready.
All right. Should we get into it? So
Let's do it. Yeah.
I'm more excited than a fat kid in a candy shop right now because we're going to announce who has just won the first round. So battle number 1, drum roll. For those of you who missed it, here it is.
Drum roll. All right. So we had 4 heads-up matchups. We're going to reveal the results here of all of them. And we mentioned we'll do the bounty reveal. So what we're looking at here is, it's our standard way of presenting the winners and the losers. You can see here that Tabby and the Underlords defeated what we're calling Greg. It's actually some kind of like goblin gibberish there. But
the team is no name.
If that team that was defeated had been a double agent, there would be a special designation. It would be designated on this card. You would see like it would be clear that it was a double agent. And also the prize that was claimed would be revealed here as well. But in this case, it is not a double agent. But congratulations to Tabby and the Underlords.
Tabby and the Underlords. So I want to take a minute just to say that we will be publishing sometime soon because the dev team are pretty busy right now. But sometime in the very near future, we are going to publish a website where you'll be able to go back and look at these battles in the aftermath and share them. So if you were one of those winning teams, you'll be able to share a link to your followers and your fans to showcase that battle result. Okay, moving on to the next battle. So yes, again, congratulations to Tabby and the Underlords. You guys are moving on to the next round and are one step closer to taking out the Drug Wars competition. So the next battle is an interesting one, right? Because it features somebody that's very dear to our heart. So we're not going to mention who owns any of the teams, but I think most people in our community definitely know the owner of the next winning team. So without further ado, let's see who won Battle 2.
All right, so Serengeti out of here. This is, yes, this is a very heralded collection, well curated, and the lore is really great on these as well. In the battle arena, and for anyone that's following along, or if you haven't had a chance yet to find out what this is all about, you can go to battlearena.drugreceipts.com, and that's where these battles are taking place. You can see all the active battles. You can connect your wallet and you can cast your votes. But when you are in the battle arena, each of these cards actually have two sides. So you can flip over the cards, and each of the team owners have written lore about their teams on the back. So they kind of explain what the idea is behind the theme of the card and the teams. And when people are voting on these teams and which should advance, they are taking all of that into account. They're reading the lore. They're looking at how beautifully curated the cards are, looking at the team name and just seeing how the whole concept comes together. And so team Serengeti out of here is definitely a standout collection, and they moved on pretty decisively. I think that
what was the result of that one? Do we know what the final votes were? Pretty decisive, that one, wasn't it?
179 to 38. And that's all the more impressive because Serengeti out of here was actually up against a pretty good collection. Dark Purple One Sock was really nicely curated. Yeah. So it's tough sledding out there. It's a tough competition.
Absolutely. And the battles that are coming in the next round, like some of the people who have already, some of the guys that have already fought have seen some amazing cards, and the ones that are already posted for the next round, which we're going to get into in a minute, are also, I mean, it's so hard. The competition's so tight and so tough, right? So another interesting part of that battle that I wanted to shout out was that Serengeti out of here was actually the first team to get 100 votes in that battle, which was pretty cool. So we were pretty excited to see 100 votes happen really quickly. It happened in the first couple of hours. So thank you to everybody who's taking part in it. I know you're all very anxious and excited to win a fluff. And there's a comment or a question and some conversation going on in the chat about who qualifies. So we've whitelisted any project in the Futureverse ecosystem and a few projects outside of the Futureverse ecosystem. So if you hold an NFT from any collection in the ecosystem, you should be able to vote and enter that competition to win a fluff. If you want to vote and you don't validate, so none of the tokens in your wallet qualify you to vote, please reach out to one of our meds in Discord and we will list your project on the whitelist so that you can vote. So just because you don't necessarily qualify first time round, please jump in our Discord, sing out to one of the meds, and we will whitelist your project. And in fact, while you're in the Discord, you'll be able to go to the whitelist projects channel. There's a bunch of channels related to Drug Wars you'll see in our Discord. One of them is the whitelisted projects, and you'll see in there all of the projects that are currently on the whitelist. If yours isn't, please let us know and we will add it. All right. Rock and roll. So now we move on to battle 3. Give me a second here. I think it is this one. Boom.
Now, boom. So this is one that we teased in the open, but Verde's Vixens actually, I mentioned the nature of the 24-hour contest. I went to bed. When I went to bed, Verde's Vixens was behind by a fairly significant amount. I mean, they weren't completely out of it, but it did look like a long road ahead for Verde's Vixens. Bomb Squad really raced out to a big lead. But Verde's Vixens rallied, and the owner for Verde's Vixens did what every good drug snuggler, every good drug wars combatant needs to do. They went out and they hustled for votes. They went into the communities, the Discords that they're active in, told people come out and support my team, and really got people to rally behind them. And it helped. It was the key to victory. Verde's Vixens pulled out a narrow victory in the end. It ended up being, the final margin was 119 to 111. So, and as I mentioned, before I went to bed, it was the gap was a lot bigger than that. And Verde's Vixens was behind. So nice rally there from Verde's Vixens. And it's a great team. I mean, the color coordination, it's all tabbies. And in fact, we should mention that, so when there's lots of other kind of like subtle things going on here in the collections and the way they're put together, But so this particular collection has all 4 tabbies. That's the same tablet character. And so underneath the name Verdes Vixens, there's a little special designation that says Team Tabby. We also have special prizes for the best Team Tabby collection and the best Siren Squad collection. There was a Siren Squad was the previous winner, the Serengeti out of here. This one, I think the vanquished opponent looks like it's a Cap crew. So that was all the capsule character, all caps. So each one of those special collections, those special designations will also get some kind of a prize when all is said and done.
Prizes are crazy
in Drug Wars.
We're giving everything away. Everything must
go.
Everything must go. It's a Web3 crash and burn sale. There's a hashtag that we started yesterday. Something to do with that, right? So yes, congratulations to Verdes Vixens, and it just goes to show that don't give up. Fight right down to the wire, right? It's you only need to win by 1 vote. Nobody wants to be in a tiebreaker situation because that leads to our Discord, and the Discord decides in the event of a tiebreaker, and that is crazy shit in there. You know, our token gated voting system that we've built for the battle arena is a very, very secure, and it's the most or the fairest system that we could possibly create. We thought about and you know, in the build up to this, we went through a whole bunch of different scenarios and ways to do it. We looked at third-party apps that handled it. We talked about all the different ways that we could possibly, you know, have a voting system. And the one we ended up landing on was custom build one that requires token validation, so that at least it's very hard to game the system. So yeah, fight all the way to the death. Go to every person you can, because 1 vote is all you need to win.
Every vote counts. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of winning, the final battle that happened over the last 24 hours is coming up now, and the winner of that battle is, drum roll, fanfare, Pocket Rocket.
Right. Pocket Rockets. Nice. Woo! This was a tough matchup. Yeah. I mean, honestly, every matchup at this point is tough. We had far more entries, far more submissions than we were able to include in the actual tournament, the final field of 64. So what you're seeing, every single one of these submissions is the best of the best, and they're all really great collections. There is no easy path to victory in the entire tournament. You're going to face tough collections, tough teams. But in this case, Pocket Rockets pulled it out. Final votes on this one was 153 for Pocket Rockets against 63 for Enter the Sirenverse. Enter the Sirenverse is one of the Siren Squad teams. So there are 4 characters in the Drug Receipts collection: the Cap character, Cap, Tabby, Rex, and Siren. Siren, of all the teams that have been that are represented here in our field of 64, the least represented are the Siren Squads. And we already saw a couple here in the very first division. I reckon you're not going to see that many more than that. That's probably the most we'll ever see in one division.
Yeah, 100%.
And one moved on, and one has already been knocked out.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And some surprising ones. Like when I went in there and did my voting, because I guess, you know, I think we're first, right? We know when it's gone live, so we go in and vote. We're kind of first to vote. So when I went in there and voted, I was like, okay, of course I voted for the teams that I thought curated the best card, right? So I'm trying to be as impartial as possible, because, you know, we know most of the people that have fielded these teams, and we have relationships with them. And I'm trying not to let that get in the way of a good card, right? If someone's put in a lot of work and it's a good lore and it's a good card, I give them my vote. So when I went through that first battle, I was like, oh, these guys are definitely going to win. Oh, I reckon these guys are and I almost none of my predictions and almost none of my votes actually were for the winning teams. So yeah, it was it was very surprising. And it's up to you. You've got to get out there. You've got to rally your followers and vote. So who's next? Who needs to get out there and start rallying their voters? Let's have a look at the current live battles. Look like this. Fanfare.
And you'll also notice one last note as we finished the 1A, the first division, but there were no bounties claimed. There weren't any double agents that were defeated in that first matchup. So they're still out there somewhere. So here we go. Division 1B. These are the active battles. You can go right now to the battle arena at battlearena.drugreceipts.com, and you can cast votes in each one of these matchups. We've got the Johnniest versus Kill Pills, Airless Glory Limited versus Rare Bands, Love Taker and Heartbreaker versus Floor Swept Sicarios, and the Gold Throne Queen versus Freed from Addiction. And these names, just looking at them right here, naked and bare on a screen without any accompanying images or lore, certainly sound mysterious. But if you're intrigued, definitely go check out the Battle Arena, and you can see what the lore is behind all of these teams, because it is really interesting.
All right, so let's have a little look at the first fight in that sequence, which is the Johnniest versus Kill Pill. So here again, another two really nicely curated cards. The lore on both of them is also very, very compelling. So it's going to be another really tough battle.
Yeah, the Johnniest. There's a lot of references to the Drug Receipts community. So for people that are, the more active you are in the Discord, the more you get kind of the inside jokes, you get the lore. A lot of these also reference kind of the larger Futureverse ecosystem. There's a lot of fluff lore and, gods and goblins lore, party bears lore, or party bear lore. But also in the Johnniest, there's also a lot of rollerblading lore. So I know we have rollerbladers in our community that will appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%. So these battles are live now. So if you're seeing this for the first time, jump into the Battle Arena. Link from our homepage, or battlearena.drugwars.com, I think is the link. Get in there and vote. Now, battle number 2. An interesting name on this one of these teams. Let's have a look. So we have Airless Glory Limited is fighting Team Rare Bands.
Rare Bands. When we actually, the first time we ever demoed the site, the first time we showed it anywhere, Rare Bands was like the demo team that we were using in our beta version. So Rare Bands, now here they are finally officially represented in the tournament. And they're up against Airless Glory Limited, which for anyone who's gotten their hands on our hoodie yet, or any of our t-shirts, in the labels, in the washing instructions and the tags, it actually, that line is in there, Airless Glory Limited, right there. You can see printed on Trevor's hoodie. So this clever drug smuggler has made that their team name and written some really, really funny, interesting lore to go with it. There's definitely like some secret Easter egg information in there for sure.
There is. There's something in that name. And I think if you follow the team's propaganda and the team's communications, there's some clues along the way that they've dropped as to what that Easter egg is. So
I wonder if Brooke knows what it means.
Well, speaking of Mr. Howard Smith, he was hoping to be here, being one of the Drug Overlords, wanting to be participating in this, but unfortunately he's tied up in another meeting. But since we're now almost half an hour in and we're still going strong, he may pop in at some point. So we may have a mystery guest on our hands. So good luck to those two teams. The next one is a particularly special battle for obvious reasons. Let's have a look at who's battling.
Well, we are not doxing team owners, but they're welcome to dox themselves. So we've got Love Taker and Heartbreaker on the left, and some of these the kind of themes come into vision pretty quickly, right? So now we get it. We see all the broken hearts there. You've got Tabby like giving the peace symbol, so you can start to put together a narrative, and then when you flip it over in the battle arena, you can see how the team owner has crafted their lore to complement all this. But Floor Swept Sicarios, what a beautiful looking team in terms of how it's curated. Trevor, what do you know about this team?
I think they're going to be a tough team to beat, Arlo. I really do. I think they've got a very strong looking card. They've got a strong team name, some great lore. I think Love Taker and Heartbreaker have really got their work cut out for them on this particular battle. So
Trevor definitely taking advantage of his position here. But so as we mentioned, Drug Receipts team members are in this competition, and so every once in a while you're going to have an occasion like this where Trevor is talking about his own submission. So I
may or may not have a relationship with the owner of that team. We will leave it at that. But yeah, so I'm really excited to see how well we go. And again, there's no guarantees of where those bounties are placed. I want to make sure that everybody understands, right? Because most people are figuring out, if you're following myself or any of the other team members on Twitter, you'll see their propagandas going out. You'll know which team or teams they are associated with. But that doesn't necessarily predicate whether or not there's a bounty on their head. Just because one of the staff here at Drug Receipts or one of the Drug Overlords has a team doesn't necessarily mean that is a team with a bounty. So,
yeah, I want to say something about that. I mean, because we did that deliberately. We did not want to affect kind of the voting or game mechanics. So we didn't want. There was a time when we considered just putting everybody who was on the Drug Receipts team, putting a bounty on their head. So if you knock out Trevor, or if you knock out, Acro, then you pick up a drug receipt. But that obviously would incentivize people to knock out all the team. So the bounties are completely randomized. We did not have any say in it. We put all the numbers into a spinner, and so it is just completely random. If you happen to knock out a Drug Receipts team member and you pick up a bounty, it's not by design. It was just completely random.
Exactly, and none of us know as well. Only the Drug Overlord. The supreme Drug Overlord knows who has a bounty on their head, and he has remained very tight-lipped about it. So, yeah, in all seriousness, the bounties are pretty much random, and good luck to anybody who takes out a double agent and picks up a bounty for themselves. Some cool prizes that we've got. Some of them are visible in the wallet. If you found the wallet, you'll see some of the prizes there that are bounties, and some of them aren't. So some of the bounty prizes haven't yet been revealed. Which is also a bit of fun. All right, the final battle in the current matchup. Let's have a look and see who's in it. Did I get that right?
The Gold Throne Queen on the left and Freed from Addiction. And you can see here another thing that's demonstrated is in the battle card builder. Remember, you can go to Drug Wars, go to drugreceipts.com and navigate to Drug Wars. You can go to the Battle Arena. battlearena.drugreceipts.com, and you can use the drop-down menu there from the main navigation. But you can go to the battle card builder, and that's where all these teams, these battle cards that you're looking at, they look kind of like Drug Receipts baseball cards. That's where these things are being assembled. Each one of the combatants that has entered the competition has made their own card. All they do is click and submit them, and then we put them into the contest. But so in the card builder, they get to choose which frame they're using. And depending on how many drug receipts you hold, that determines how many different color card frame variations you have access to. Exactly, so everyone has access to a white frame, like you see there on the right. Everybody has access to a gray frame, which we've seen in some of our other entrants. But the only people that have access to the yellow gold frames that you see on the left there are people that are kingpins. They're called kingpins in the community. And all that means is that they own 50 or more drug receipts. So that is for the few holders that are our whales, our kingpins. So if you see a frame that is that color, it means you're looking at an entry by a kingpin.
And it's a flex, right? There's definitely some rivalry going on between the kingpins and others.
Exactly. But one thing you'll notice here is that just because you're a kingpin doesn't mean that you have to use the gold frame. You have access to all the other frames that are available in the collection. So they can use the blue one. They can use the green one for Big Pharma. They can use the gray or the white one. And then they can also use the gold one. So what you'll notice here, this is actually a battle between two kingpins, because right there in the footer of the card, there's a little cracked crown that tells you that the rank is kingpin. So the entrant on the right has chosen not to use the gold flex because this is a competition about curating, right? So we are asking, or we're hoping that the users will use the frames thoughtfully and pick the frame that best complements whatever their collection is. And so Freed from Addiction has done that expertly on the right, and the Gold Throne Queen, since it is about crowns, has used the gold frame. So here are two great cases, great examples of how to thoughtfully and artfully use the frames.
And what a tough battle that's going to be. So speaking of what a tough battle that's going to be, why don't we go and have a look? So I haven't had a look yet this morning at where the current fights are and how many votes they've had. So should we go and have a quick look over at the live battle arena and see how things are going?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Remember, in order to vote, you have to connect a wallet, right? So, you able to share your screen? So the votes will not reveal until after you have cast your own vote. And I think, Trevor, you said that you already voted this morning. So I think you should have the current tallies. Once you've connected your wallet, once you voted, then you can follow the progress, keep following the progress. But you won't see any results until you've cast your vote.
Exactly. And don't forget to make sure that you have double check to see if your ticket is validated, right? As we mentioned before, every collection in the ecosystem has been validated and whitelisted to vote. So I'm just going to try this, but what I'm looking at and the reason why I'm kind of stalling very badly is because my screen here is showing 0 votes on every battle, which is not the case. Because
reconnect your wallet.
Yeah, then everybody will see who I voted for, and I might cop some slack for that in the
yeah
in the Discord. I don't want to be seen to be showing favoritism or anything. Obviously, there's one team in this particular round of battles that I probably voted for, and I think everybody can guess that one. So unfortunately, I can't show you the live votes, but here we can have a quick little look at the battle arena anyway, because it is such a cool, sexy piece of development engineering. Here we have the Johnny is playing the kill pills. You can flip the card and read the lore. We've been talking a lot about that. So if you're new to all of this, you might be seeing this for the first time. You can read all about the story behind the team. You can have a look at the ranks and the character traits of the drug receipts used in that team and get a good feel for what's going on behind this particular team. And again, we've got a kingpin versus a snug dealer. So this is this will be an interesting matchup, right? We've got a kingpin versus a lower holder, or a holder with fewer tokens. So it'll be interesting to see who wins this one. And again, lore on the back of that. Do we want to go through and read the lore? I think that's a little bit too much. I think people could go in and discover that for themselves. You can share this battle. That's something I wanted to actually draw people's attention to. So you can click share this battle. You'll get this little lovely little reminder that you've copied it to your clipboard, and then you drop that into your Twitter tweet, and that will drive people to this particular battle. So that's how you can promote your particular battle. You can see here, this is the current round that's in play, a link here to the full bracket, and this gives you an understanding of where we're at in the tournament. So Division 1A has already been decided, and you can see now who the next matchups will be when they move into round 2. And you can see you make your way through here. The winner of this particular division will fight a division boss. So I'm not sure if we've really cleared that up. I think it's pretty obvious, but the divisions are directly related to a boss. So there is a boss associated with each division. We won't reveal that just yet, but there will be a boss for each division. And if you make it all the way through and beat everybody else in your division, you will take on the boss for a chance to win a bounty. Okay. Next fight is, as we said, Airless Glory versus Rare Bands. I really don't know why I'm not seeing any votes. Is this because now I know why? This was a discussion we had in the dev meeting yesterday, where we want to hide the votes, right, until you vote. So you have to connect your wallet and vote, and then you will see who is currently in the lead. So we thought we would see if that incentivized people to vote in different ways, or whether that changed the game. So a little bit of a test going on. But yeah, you must connect your wallet and vote before you can see who's currently winning.
And Trevor, one other thing that I wanted to show, when you go down to the brackets again one more time, because we showed the results from the last division, but you can use the navigation right above, and you can see all the matchups, and including the current one. So this is just kind of an overview of all the brackets, all the matchups that are happening right now in the current bracket, but you can also peek ahead and see the matchups for each division.
Yeah, a nice, easy way to do it too, right? The big, long form, full battle bracket can be a little bit confusing. This is a nice, easy way to say, okay, if this is my team, that's my pathway, and these are the people that I have a chance of going up against to take on a boss. So that's a nice way to map out your strategy. And as was discussed openly in the Discord, yesterday, there's people who are voting very strategically and voting for the team that they want to fight in their next round. So they're looking at which teams they think are possibly the weaker team, and voting for the weaker team to get them through so that they have an easier battle, which is an interesting approach. And then again, the final battle you can see here, as Arlo pointed out, we've got 2 kingpins taking on each other. One is using the gold kingpin frame for obvious reasons. It's in their team name, and the other isn't. And again, some great lore around where these teams come from and why they've been curated in the way they have. So that is our current live battle. Get in there and vote, connect your wallet, and you will see for yourself who is in front. Now, I have a very special announcement. We have a secret guest who has decided to turn up and is joining us now. Please welcome one of the Drug Overlords, Mr. Brooke Howard Smith, in the house.
What? Hey, is it on? How are you guys?
Is this thing on?
You good? I'm in a car. I live in a car now.
Give us some background you've got there. Is that real, that background?
I live in a car. So ever since Web3 closing down sale yesterday, now this bear market is really affected. It's an okay car. Like it's got heated seats, which to be honest is a step up from my house didn't have heated seats before I had to fire sale it. Hey guys, I literally this morning's been really busy, but I'm in the middle of voting now. I'm interested in your little addition of the not being able to see the votes, because obviously it affects your voting if like someone's way ahead or way behind, or if it's close. Yesterday's last battle where it was neck and neck, I spent 15 minutes like sitting there going, oh my God, who am I? This means a lot to whoever I'm voting for.
Yes. Yeah. Every vote counts, right?
Right. That's why we did it. So we've done it both ways. Obviously, in the last round, all the votes were visible. We definitely, as you have pointed out, as you guys have both acknowledged, it affects the psychology of how you vote when you can see how everyone else has voted. So we wanted to try one where it was blinded. You don't see the votes until after you vote. There are advantages to both. We think that this way, where it's blinded, it sort of protects the integrity of the voting a little bit. But the other way makes it a little more interactive and exciting for spectators, like to watch.
And I also I don't feel like we should start with integrity now. It feels like I feel like if we were going to do that, we're like, anyway.
Well, but the advantage is the same, or the disadvantage is the same for everybody in the matchup. So no one got an advantage.
It's even. But I'd like to see, so in the comments below or in the Discord, can you please let us know which you think is the preferred method? Because we built both now, so we can go forward with the battles and choose whichever one people think is the best way to go. So chuck your comment below or in the Discord which one you think.
Do we like the blinded voting, or do we like the revealed voting?
Yeah, blinded or revealed. Cast your vote. Well, we're asking everybody to vote. That's a vote that you don't need to validate your wallet for. You can just do that with your keyboard, and anybody can vote on that one. There's no prizes.
So much voting. And ironically, as a self-proclaimed dictator, Arlo, you're really getting excited by this voting concept, right?
Democracy. I think it's the perfect thing for trivial games like this. I just wouldn't trust it as a system of government.
Trivial games like this, trivial games like running a country, trivial games like intercontinental relationships. It's a great thing.
Hey, yes, there's such good feedback, everyone, yesterday. You have to, these days, with anything in Web3, you have to offer up, a prize to get people to move. But I don't know if you guys saw the Fluff Discord last night when people got in to the website and saw the Drug Receipts website because it's such a beautiful website. They were just blown away and kind of talking about the execution of this has been pretty spectacular. So congrats to the whole team.
That's great. That's really great to hear. Love that feedback.
Yeah, it's amazing. We've seen so many Fluffle coming in and voting, and even though it's not a fluff competition, right? Yes, there's fluffs up for grabs because they're really appealing tokens.
We like
to
the
get.
fluffs.
Everybody kind of wants one, but yeah, the Fluffle are coming in and really supporting the campaign, which is amazing to see.
Builder's been talking to me this morning about Airless Glory, and I don't know if he can explain what it is. Do you guys know what it is?
Yeah,
well, there's definitely an Easter egg in there.
So, we explained it, I think, just before you came on, but that hoodie that Trevor's wearing, all the hoodies that we shipped out, they have wash instructions, right? Just like every t-shirt and garment comes with. And
not again, Arlo. Not again.
Remember, you had a brilliant idea back when we did Cine, a stroke of genius or insanity. And
just when you thought it was over.
Headline news. So the Drug Receipts apparel that we have now also has wash instructions. And there's a line in there that says Airless Glory Limited. And so Bildo has turned that into the inspiration for his team. That's why he's talking to you about it.
Oh, I see.
Team name.
Illest Glory is or I Am Sorry, which is
My bad.
Please do not decipher this. Please do not
Allah's
complain when you do decipher this.
Allah's apology to a generation of women that he offended. Okay, that's cool. So wash instructions, we totally forgot when we started this whole thing up that potentially there was an area that we should keep our away from, was the wash tags. We could do a wash. You should do an apology wash tag, right?
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah.
Okay, and so
or just explicit. When you buy a CD, back when we used to buy CDs, there was that sticker. Now you see it on Spotify, the parental advisory. That we definitely should have that in a wash tag, I think.
Parental advisories on our wash tags. Yeah.
All right.
So let me tell you some of the advantages of living in a car. The first one is the heated seats. Goes without saying. It's like, I mean, you have to be reasonably wealthy when you go bust to have a car that you can kind of get away and that has.
I don't think many people that live in cars have heated seats.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're in that situation, that's one of the advantages. Mobile, obviously. Advantage is that my Wi-Fi is not good enough.
Brooks, I'm guessing the Wi-Fi connection is not one of the advantages of living in the car.
I was getting to the fact that the disadvantage was that my Wi-Fi is pretty bad, so I won't clog up your awesome podcast for the day. I am planning on being on these.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So we are actually done for today. We've gotten through everything. You coming on is a perfect way to close it. And the plan is, I think that you will be here for the kickoff of these things. You were double booked today, but for most of these, I think that we'll expect to basically have kind of this team here in some form, shape, or fashion. So awesome. Thanks for popping on, Trevor. We are wrapping it up, right?
We're wrapping the daily wrap.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up now. Tomorrow, guys, I'm going to, however good the Wi-Fi is at the public toilets that I'm looking at, I'm like, okay. Love you guys.
If anybody's got a couch, can we please send Brooke Howard Smith around to your house?
Oh yeah, that's my specialty.
He can broadcast live from your living room. All right, thank you everybody. Lovely to see you. We're wrapping this. I've got to figure out. There it is. End stream is happening in 3, 2.
Bye. Thanks.